Hello and welcome back to Boss Battles of Wraeclast, the somewhat comprehensive guide to the various bosses in Path of Exile 2. Now, in today's episode we're not really taking on an actual boss, or at least not in the sense of the bosses that we have fought in the playthrough so far. In today's episode we're taking on a rare named monster, which is technically a boss that can be found in Grelwood. So we have fought the actual zone boss for Grelwood, which was Bramblegast, and now we are going to go and take on, I can't even pronounce the name, Areagne? I don't know how you pronounce her name. We're going to call her Aria, just because she's easier to pronounce that way. Albeit for Path of Exile to actually give us some named monsters that have names you can pronounce properly. Anyway, so with this boss, you'll notice the difference in the colour of their name. Her name will be in bright yellow, whereas every boss we've faced so far has had this kind of dark reddish-brown name, which denotes their rarity. So the dark reddish-brown means that it is unique. If you have a dark reddish-brown item drop, you know it's a unique item, it's a special item. The same with the bosses, they will all have the same abilities that they use, whereas when it comes to rare monsters and named rare monsters, they will have a couple of abilities that they always have, and then they will always have a suffix ability which changes every time you face them. This is for the named ones. Every rare monster that you encounter, if it's not named, it will have a random assortment of abilities that you can come up against. Sometimes they'll have things like elemental resistances, they'll have some kind of mana draining ability, like this big ring around them that drains mana. They can have all kinds of different things. So just be aware that with this boss in Grelwood, every time you face her, she will have a different secondary ability, but she will also have a couple of abilities which stay the same every single time. So, anyway, without further ado, let's take on Areagne in Grelwood. Okay, so finding this boss is pretty easy. All you have to do is look out for a hut which will have a checkpoint. When you go inside this hut and start approaching the cauldron, you'll see her spawn, or she'll turn around from the cauldron and then disappear. If you open the cauldron, you'll get a medium health and medium life and a medium mana flask. And then you have to head outside in order to face the boss. Now, the abilities that she will have that stay the same are the Frost Circle you can see on the floor. I believe that slows you and also deals a little bit of cold damage. She'll have a Frost Breath that she will do, which she'll just aim that at you, so if you just dodge out of the way, you can pretty much avoid that completely. Although try and be aware of getting caught by it by too much, because it will deal quite a lot of damage. And she will also randomly teleport around the area as well, so she'll disappear and then reappear shortly afterwards. Now, the ability that you can see she's got now is those small Chaos Orbs. So she'll summon a couple of plants, they'll summon those small Chaos Orbs which will slowly chase us, and once they get within range of us, they will start exploding, so we have to back away from them. We have almost died to them, nearly. And that is pretty much everything about this boss. The secondary ability she does, or the secondary ability she has, will be different if we were to face her again. So I believe if we were to die in this boss fight and then come back, she would have a different ability. If you hover over her name, so you can see her life bar, you will also see the other ability that she has, which is called Extra Lightning Damage. So it just means that all of her attacks have extra lightning damage on them. If she crits you, she has a chance to shock you as well, so just be careful with that. Although that ability will change as well. Now with Aria, when you defeat her, she will drop an uncut support gem, and then she'll also drop some higher level loot. But that is pretty much everything to do with this boss. There really isn't much else to it than that. Again, like I said earlier, she will have different abilities every time you fight her, but she's really not that difficult to take on. As long as you're avoiding the Frost Breath and staying out of the slowing effect, and obviously keep paying attention to the fact that she's going to teleport around the area, you'll have an easy time with this one, and she will also drop you a support gem which you can place on your abilities and empower them even further. But yeah, that is Areagne. Thank you everybody for watching, and we shall catch you in the next episode.